Hey there, this is Lewis Johnson taking my love of sports into the world of esports. So I'm breaking down what's happening in the esports industry, talking with great guests, influencers, and tracking their personal and professional journeys to see how all of that has influenced where they are now. And in the end, I hope you're inspired. And so with that, welcome to All In With Esports.
Hey everybody, welcome back to another edition of All In With Esports. We've got a lot of stuff happening here. Of course, you can catch all of our podcasts on Esports FPN. First of all, can I just tell you how excited I am not to be in my home office, doing this on Zoom, looking at somebody, talking to them, but they can see me, but you can't see us.
Right.
This is so cool. I am at the Esports Arena in Arlington, the Esports Stadium, I should say, in Arlington today. And this episode is going to be something I think very cool because we're talking to the new president of this venue, Luke Bauer, who is only 24 years old. And man, he's got the reins of this sucker. Yes, it deserves a round of applause. Luke, how are you?
I'm doing just fine. How are you today?
I'm great, man. You can tell I'm really happy to be out of the confines of the office, right?
I think we all are. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
In my other world of live sports television, we are now back on the road doing track and field events, getting ready for the Olympic trials. We're doing it in venues that have no fans. It kind of stinks, but listen, you got to start where you are. Right. And speaking of that, where are you guys down here at Esports Stadium here in Arlington in terms of getting things going again? Fans, no fans, what's happening?
Well, Texas in particular is ready to go with everything. I mean, depending on the event, some people still want to keep it closed or keep it private, depending on who it is that's running it.
Right.
But what we found is that a lot of people are willing to come out and make live events happen again. So we're having a lot of stuff come up this summer, and even the second week of June. As soon as the second week of June hits, we're pretty much booked all the way until September right now, and so we expect that to keep going afterwards. So we're really excited over here. Expect to continue a lot of growth.
That sounds great. So for those of you who don't know exactly where this place is, the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex is this huge area. You've got Dallas to the east and Fort Worth to the west. The DFW airport sits kind of right in the middle. And Arlington is just maybe 7-8 miles just to the south of the airport. So that's where we are. Why do I know that airport, man? Because it's like my second home, traveling in and out of there for sure. For many years, I've been coming down here, going to Six Flags with my sons and never realized that this place was here.
Right across the street.
Right across the street, exactly. I'm looking at the roller coasters as I came in, and you guys are right here. And the space is just unbelievable. The building's about 100,000 square feet?
Yep, all in total with parking lot, everything, yep.
Okay, and so the arena inside is about how big?
About 28,000.
Okay, when I first came here and saw this, my jaw dropped. I've been seeing a lot of venues and spaces in my career in the business, but what's so special about this arena that you have?
Well, for starters, it's the largest dedicated esports facility in North America.
In North America,
yeah,
not in Dallas,
America. Yeah.
Not in Texas, in North America.
Not even the U.S.
Wow.
We're very proud of it. And the only other real stadium, quote unquote, is the HyperX in California. And so a lot of Californians are trying to get stuff built over there right now, but because of COVID, it's kind of been pushed back. So. We're still kind of, one of the only ones out there. So we love to be just in this epicenter of really Texas.
Yeah.
We call it the Arlington Entertainment District. We've got the Cowboys down the road, Texas Rangers down the road, us. So we love the area, and I don't see why it couldn't be the next big thing. So.
It is. And listen,
it already is.
Yeah. I'm a native Texan. Spent a lot of time in California, a lot of time overseas. But Texans really do believe in doing everything big. And this place is huge. You mentioned Cowboy Stadium, Jerry's World, just a couple of miles away. The new baseball stadium for the Rangers is literally right down the street. The amusement parks. You got it all right here.
Oh, yeah.
Speaking of those franchises, what has been the marriage between, pro sports and the esports world? What do you know about that? And especially right here in Dallas.
Yeah, well, it's kind of funny. They're starting to merge now. Even a lot of players, athletes for Cowboys, Rangers, I mean, every team out there, you're starting to see a lot of these guys start to stream and get involved in a lot of times Madden or COD or whatever it may be. But absolutely, the athletes themselves are getting into it. And the Mavs even actually started up their own gaming center.
Right.
I forget the name of it now, but Cowboys have complexity rather.
Right.
So yeah, I mean, real, quote unquote, real sports, what some people call it, are getting into the esports realm completely. But,
Yeah, and I think it would be great at some point if you can get some of those athletes to come over here. And,
absolutely,
And you alluded to athletes, real athletes.
Yeah.
I am learning that esports athletes are also athletes.
Yes.
Right?
Oh, absolutely. I didn't mean that to take away from
I'm
esports
trying to help you out because
No, I know
Twitter's going to blow up on that one.
Oh yeah, people will get mad for sure. Yeah, no. Sometimes I just refer to that kind of in a joking sense.
Of course. Yeah, and I'm amazed at that. I was in Paris over this last fall, and I was looking at a couple of pro teams over there. One in particular just crossed some Châtelet-Léal, and there's a team there that has a beautiful facility, and they also work out at the Stade de France, which is the big stadium where they go there and do all their athletic training. They've got, dietitians, they've got all this type of stuff that they do to help them become better gamers. So for people, especially parents who don't know esports the way I'm learning about it and the way you know it because you've lived it, athleticism is a part of this industry. And it is something that I believe is going to become, you're going to see it as a more wholesome activity, not just sitting in front of a screen and being sedentary. I think it's going to be that for sure. Let's step back a little bit into your life and your career. Where were the early connections for you with gaming and esports, and how did it all develop?
Well, really, I've been playing video games my entire life. And before I was playing them, I was watching my brothers play them. And when I finally got a controller in my hand, I never put it down.
Yeah.
Obviously, parents are concerned. They're spending too much time doing this. How is this really benefiting them? And so now it's kind of cool to go back and say, well, look where it is now. So, it's crazy. To be completely honest, I never thought I'd be where I am. And it's amazing to be here. And the whole journey has been amazing. It's been a blessing.
I can just imagine the conversations with your parents at home. I don't think either one of them, I don't know them, but I'm imagining neither one of them were president of a large event space like this at 24.
No, they were not. No, few are.
Right. So you come in, you assume a massive responsibility. The facility been shut down about a year, right? With COVID.
Yeah, just about. Yeah.
Right. Okay. So what type of planning has been put in place to begin to open the space back up responsibly and give people a place to come and game and really get this energy back, which we all want to see? Yeah.
Well, I mean, it really starts with the fans. I mean, being in Texas, it helps a lot that people are a lot more open to coming out and doing things.
Yeah.
So that obviously helps. But when we first came in, we just kind of had to plan like COVID wasn't going to be here in a certain amount of time. It was, if it is still here, then all right, shame on us. And we'll have to push these events back or whatever it may be. But let's act like they're going to happen. And we just have to get something going. I think there was a lot of complacency beforehand where it's like, okay, well, we can't do anything, but we got to try. We got to try to make something happen here. So I'm just trying to find those solutions, whether it be digital, because broadcast is such a big thing. You don't necessarily have to be in person for an event to happen.
That's right.
That's such a big part of esports too. So
yeah, it's funny you say that because I've learned a lot about that in this COVID, I guess you could say, year off, where we saw a lot of sports go away because first of all, the athletes couldn't compete,
right?
And then secondly, you couldn't have anybody in the facilities to cover anything, and for us in broadcasting. But this idea of remote broadcasting became very strong, and a lot of the events were being remotely broadcast. And I'm assuming that was already kind of a part of this industry where you're covering events from around the world. And now that's a formula that can be used even more, even when COVID comes back.
Right. Yeah. Well, or
COVID is over, I should say.
Right. Yeah. I know. Yeah, of course. People have been streaming, doing online tournaments way before COVID happened.
Right.
But I do think COVID actually, I guess, in some way positively impacted that aspect of gaming is because a lot more, because that was the only option, a lot more of that had to come back. So,
right. Yeah. So as you guys begin to plan, give us a sense as the new recent president here of what's a typical day like for you? What are you doing? What kind of meetings are you having? And what are y'all discussing that you can let us know about?
Yeah, for sure. Well, I mean, what it is right now is just establishing a lot of connections within the local area, reaching out to publishers, people who throw big tournament organizers, and just anyone working within the video game industry, and even markets adjacent to video games, whether that be anime, YouTube groups, anything in the entertainment world, we see that as kind of an opportunity because no one else, at least in the DFW area, is really tackling a lot of not nobody, but really tackling the Hollywood-esque aspect that we have here than with the production capabilities that we have in the studio, especially revolving kind of the nerdy world of esports and things adjacent to it.
Yeah. I'm also wondering about the critical importance of sponsorships and those relationships. Everybody's been through a very difficult fiscal year, right? And who knows how long that carryover lasts. So what can you share with us about what's happening with the endemic sponsors around esports, and then some of those non-endemic sponsors that you want to draw back who may be also dealing with the fiscal difficulties of just a rough year? How are those relationships working?
Yeah, well, so far our sponsorship team is actually making a decent amount of progress. We actually brought in 2 new guys specifically for sponsorships about a month and a half ago. And that's their sole role. And they've been doing a great job reaching out to people. And that's the thing. There's so many different elements of esports. So there's obviously merchandising, energy drinks, even alcohol is kind of a big one. And yeah, so far it's been great reaching out to these people. People are still open to it. COVID hasn't affected it as much as I thought it would have. People are open, and now that things are starting to come back and they know we're starting to have events again, it makes it a lot easier to convince them that, hey, this is we've got this budget now. We have to get our name out as soon as possible, especially in the largest esports stadium in North America.
Exactly. Speaking with Luke Bauer, who is the president here of the Esports Stadium in Arlington. Great conversation going here on All In With Esports. I walked in and there were about 6 kids who had just gotten dropped off on the curb, and they ran up the steps and in the door and were at the front desk giving them passcodes and what have you to get in and going to pay their daily fee to come and play some games. What are local kids able to do now in the facility before these bigger events happen? On a day-to-day basis. Yeah,
on a day-to-day basis, our gaming center is open from 10 to 10 or 10 to midnight on weekends. So anybody can come by. We have an arrangement of all kinds of games. If we don't have the game, let us know and we'll see if we can't get it in there. But you can play on what the pros use. The best equipment, the best internet. You're not going to really have a better setup anywhere else. So we pride ourselves on that, and we want people to come out and start utilizing that more. We're also having a lot of more first-party events like in-person tournaments for fighting games or really any game. But fighting game definitely has bigger turnouts. People have been itching to get back into that.
Right.
So we're excited to host these and bring this community kind of back to life.
Yeah. I had a really interesting discussion on a previous podcast with a gentleman who is involved in the gambling side of gaming. Right. It was very, very interesting. Okay. Yeah. I had no idea the amount of time and effort had been put into what they believe is going to be another exponentially exploding area of esports, and that's gaming and gambling. Any thoughts on that and where it may go? And can this facility be involved with that, or just have to be separate?
Potentially one day. We are in talks with potentially a couple people who might have some ideas, depending on if laws can change. Right. But yeah, we were definitely keeping our eye on that. We'd love to make something happen if we can.
Yeah. That is just incredible. I mean, the potential there, is just astronomical. I was looking at his deck and I was like, oh my gosh, it's unbelievable.
Yeah.
So, major events coming. That's one of the things that's missed. I have to tell everybody that when you first walk into the arena, and we're going to go take a look around in just a few minutes. When you walk into the main hall, it is shocking. It is shocking. I've seen pictures, I've seen a little bit of video. It is amazing how massive the room is. And then those big LED boards that up on the stage that just create this sensory experience. When will we see this place full of people and a major event happening? Anytime soon?
Yeah, so we've got a couple things in the work. I can't say exactly what they are yet.
Oh, the secret events coming.
But
okay.
Yeah, keep a lookout for, because we'll be announcing them as soon as we're allowed to. But the first one I can talk about that is a public event. Unfortunately, actually, they're already sold out of tickets for it. But
that's a good thing.
Yeah, right. Yeah. YouTube group RDC World is going to be having Dreamcon here. I believe that's July 23rd to the 25th. So I'm really excited about that. They do a lot of content around anime and video games. So this is the perfect location for them, and they're local to Texas. So.
Awesome. And is that like a weekend event, a 3-day event, or a week, or how long does it last?
Yeah, it's a weekend event.
Okay.
So, yeah.
And I'm assuming that you'll have then, other events happening around it. Then you have the major event, which I guess lasts on a Saturday or what have you. That's several hours long or what?
Yeah, so it's kind of a content creator thing too. So they're inviting a lot of people out that do a lot of similar content, and they'll be doing panels. There's a kind of a vendor area where people can do trading cards or whatever it is, and then on the stadium side, we're actually kind of operating the tournament for that. But you can also buy digital tickets too if you want to watch that, so you can play online or watch everything that we're going to be doing here from Twitch, I believe. So
right, that's pretty cool. Now that's the part of it that really interests me, having traveled a lot with my sport as an athlete and then as a broadcaster, is what's happening around the world, and then how do these other locations around the globe tap into what's happening maybe right here. So when you have that event, anybody around the world can buy a digital ticket and join and be a part of it. Is that right?
That's right. Yeah.
Okay. How do you deal with language translation going back to China or to Japan or to, South America, anywhere? How does all that work out?
So I don't actually think we're planning on that. I think it's going to be all English actually,
okay.
At least for this one. Just because all their content is made in English too. So I don't think they're really trying to hit that market. Okay. But of course, maybe subtitles can help there.
Yeah. And so right. I guess subtitles would be the responsibility of the receiving party, right? Maybe if they're taking in the event, then they can put subtitles up on the screen, what have you.
Right.
That sounds pretty cool. When you're not in meetings and you're not doing all these other, responsible duties as a president, what do you do to have fun? What do you do to get away from everything?
Well, believe it or not, I play video games.
Okay, what a surprise!
Right, yeah. Okay. But yeah, in complete honesty, I'm actually terrible at pretty much every esport. You'd think I'd be good at some of them, and Super Smash Bros. Is really the only one that I can even hang a hat on and say I'm decent at. Yeah. First person shooters, terrible at. But I love a lot of role playing games, Breath of the Wild, a lot of single player type of stuff. Yeah. But video games have always been a part of my life, and yeah. I love it. I love the communities on there as well. So
yeah, man, I can imagine. Well, we are really coming into a really important transition, as a country and globally, really, as we kind of move toward the exit ramp, hopefully, of COVID. Yeah. And I just got to believe here that you guys must be super excited about what's going to happen over the next few months and the next few years.
Oh, most definitely. Yeah, we expect this to be the mecca of esports in the world. That's our goal. So
love that.
Yeah, we COVID might have slowed us down a little bit in the beginning, but that's not going to stop us from continuing the goal.
Yeah, and of course, on the if there is a positive side, I say that with all respect and dignity, we've been forced in so many areas to rediscover ways to do things, right?
Right.
And then sometimes those new ways will be things that we may continue on. And so I think it's pretty cool. So, this is a great room, but shall we go out and look around? You want to show me some stuff?
Let's do it.
Okay, let's go. All right.
Alrighty, so back here.
This way?
Yeah. We have 18 rooms back here.
18 rooms?
18 rooms, all the same size as that one.
Okay.
I got our player lounge here, so assuming there's a big giant event,
right.
Each team would have their own team room, and then they could all convene in this local space right here.
Okay.
And they could, it'll look way cooler.
Yeah.
Assuming they got ping pong.
Got to have
here.
the ping pong table,
gotta have
right?
Foosball, everything.
Right.
So we'd have a bunch of stuff set up in here for any big event that came through.
So these are places where teams can come and relax and then get ready to go out and do their thing, right?
Absolutely.
All right, let's keep rolling.
But then this is where we start to get to the really cool stuff.
Okay.
So this is Production Alley.
Production Alley. Okay.
Right down here and right there.
So this is behind the scenes where all the other production offices are back that way?
Yeah, so we've got post-production. Well, let's just take a tour.
Okay, you got it.
So this is the main control room right here. Probably going to be some people in here doing their thing. Oh, nope.
It's locked. Okay, that's all right.
They really are doing their thing. They are doing their thing, yeah. Well, let's see if they're anywhere else here now.
Okay.
Production Alley.
Caster room. This is the one thing I had to get used to as a broadcaster. You don't broadcast esports, you're a caster.
Yes.
So this is where they come in and announce, right?
Yes. So there's a big green screen room, teleprompter, things like that.
Yeah.
Camera. Yeah, it's very nice. I've even done some casting in there myself.
Oh, have you?
Yeah.
Okay.
I do some casting for Super Smash Brothers.
Okay. Post-production.
Must be out for lunch.
Actually, it's good that all these rooms are locked because you got lots of important stuff going on.
Howdy, howdy.
It looks like an important meeting going on here.
Yes.
A little bit of an important.
As
All right.
I'll let y'all get back to it.
Yeah, and then came on the lights. There we go. There we go. That's what I'm talking about. Wow, so cool.
Oh yeah.
So cool. When I first saw this, I was just blown away by the size.
Yeah.
And I was blown away by the big LED screens there, and just so cool.
Definitely. Yeah, so, ideally during a big event, you'd have the main showing in the middle.
Yep.
You could have either one team on this side, you can have map displays.
Yep.
You can do any number of things. Even the desk itself lights up LED.
Right.
Everything lights up. Even the broadcast booth.
Right here?
Lights up right here in the
Is that what this is? This is where the casters are?
Yep. This is
Okay.
where they can be in the cast room, they can be out here. A lot of the times for a big event, this would be up on a stage that sits about this high.
Right.
So.
And they'd be casting what's going on up there.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
So they'd be looking at these screens. Everyone would be, the whole 2,500 people would be out here watching, and
Right.
they'd be casting up here. So
Yep.
get the full live experience, and then usually broadcast it to Twitch.
Now this looks very familiar to me, right?
Yeah.
Headset,
I believe
microphone, and I see the cough button, and I see the
Cough
talkback
button,
button.
yeah.
Now I'm doing TV.
Yeah. There you go. Right back at it.
Awesome. Can I walk up there?
Oh, of course. Yeah.
Okay.
And then, of course, we were talking about sponsorships earlier. Tons of sponsorship opportunities here.
Right.
With banners, all over the walls, anywhere we can put some logos.
Right.
We're looking to do so.
Right. So with these LED screens, just bring so much light and energy, what have you. That's so cool. And then you've got your cameras that point right at the players, right?
It's a live shot of each player.
Right in the face.
Yep.
And then you have a direct feed from all of their gaming on this computer as an output to the broadcast to be able to watch it, right?
Precisely.
What they're doing.
Yep.
Yeah. So if this is one team of 5 players, you also have usually a coach or what have you. Is a coach up here on the stage? Or?
So yeah, we can actually utilize our team rooms to give audio, so the coach doesn't even actually have to be up here. He
Okay.
can be giving his signals and things like that.
Introduce your players, bring them on. They've got all the lights and everything.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Let's practice it. You're going to go out. Okay. And we're Team Arlington. Luke Bauer!
Still waiting for that day.
There you go.
I haven't gotten there quite yet.
There you go. Oh, man. Really, really neat. And to sit up here and see this room as big as it is, just unbelievable. I guess you've got some hard cameras out there that give you your head-on shots.
Yep.
And then do you have any roving cameras around, any handheld cameras to kind of catch fans or what have you?
Yeah, we've got that all in production. We've got jibs, got all kinds of things.
That's my favorite camera in the business, the jib.
Yeah.
My favorite camera, for sure.
Yeah.
On that crane, kind of moving up and swinging around, you get those really nice big sweeping shots.
Definitely.
Where do you put the jib out here?
Well, it just kind of depends.
Okay.
Sometimes, most of the time we've had it near the caster booth.
Yeah. So, I mean, this is what we wanted to see, this big hall with this great space, with this huge stage, which really has just been lying idle for almost a year, but not much longer, right?
Not much longer, yeah.
Wow, this is really cool. So, Luke, thanks so much, man, for allowing us to come and hang out and chat about the journey you've been on in this gaming industry, and then, of course, assuming the role as president, which is a big responsibility, now bringing this place out of COVID to activity. It won't be long before you'll see the Esports Stadium here in Arlington full of people
people up on the stage, the LED screens lit up, and it's going to be a lot of fun. So thanks so much for having us, man. Appreciate it.
For having me on as well.
Absolutely. And hope you guys have enjoyed this conversation and a behind-the-scenes look at the actual facility that is coming to life soon right here in Arlington, Texas. Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex. Right here, you have the Arlington Esports Stadium, the biggest in North America. And it's been fun to be here. So I hope you've enjoyed this episode of All In With Esports. Lots of fun happening here today. And of course, lots of great episodes from my shows and other shows at Esports FPN. So hope you'll join us and check that out. And until next time, hope you've been inspired, and I'll talk to you soon.
Hey, thanks so much for listening to All In With Esports. Now, don't forget to subscribe to your favorite podcast channel, and we would love to hear from you about this or any other shows on the Esports Future Eye Network.